Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Tiff of ELMWORLD. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Tiff, and this is my business partner, Tig Alexander.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us tonight.
We are super excited. We are super excited because we have something huge to talk to you about today. And it's going to be action packed, it's going to be jam packed, but we really like an interactive live stream. So we want to see you in the comments. We want to see you ask your questions. We want to see you interact because we want you to know that we're here to support you. You know, is a reason why we only go live once a week. Maybe twice a week if we feel like it, but once a week because we like to engage more than we post so that we know that you're getting the most out of this. So first, I want to welcome all new members to ELMWORLD. We're really happy to have you, and we're really excited to just have you explore the world of ELMWORLD. You know, the beautiful thing about this is that we've been doing this for about 10 months. Now, if you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments. I just want to see who you all are. Put new in the comments. And if you've been around ELMWORLD for a while, just put ELMWORLD in the comments. Put ELMWORLD in the comments if you've been watching us for a while. And what I like to say is that if you're new here, you know, don't take our word for it. Go ahead and scroll through our Facebook group. We have an immense amount of content that is around lead generation, around leadership, around enrollment, around social media. And we just want you to dig in and see what stands out to you the most. So we have that available for you. Now, I want to see some likes, some comments in here. I don't see anybody. Ty, you see anybody yet?
Not yet. I'm looking.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro about who we are, and Ty's going to talk a little bit about who we are. And what we like to do is we like to be completely transparent in these calls where we talk about our journey. We talk about the challenges that we're overcoming in the moment with you, the insights that we have, things that we've proven to work, things that have proven not to work in order for you as an entrepreneurial leader to grow and scale your business online while also living the life that you're actually promoting, right? Because I know that social media is funny. We like to promote our best life, but are you really living that behind your phone? Are you really living that behind your screen? You know, Tig and I, where we had the most alignment, where we said we want to make an impact at scale for people who are committed to serving their communities, but we also want them not to be burnt out. We want them to live an amazing life. We want them to have prosperity and health and fun and joy and family. And so, you know, when we first started, we started as co-founders, basically with equal positions, equal sort of responsibilities. We overlapped a lot. And then we started to generate a team. And then we started to sort of move positions and delegate, you know, work differently. And so now I can proudly say I'm going from entrepreneur and promoter to actually like a systems leader. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means later, but basically I don't work on the weekends like I used to. I don't work after 5 like I used to. I don't work before 9 like I used to. And if you know, as an entrepreneur, you say you're living this like amazing, crazy life, but you're actually working 24/7 and work is always on your mind. So even if you're not working, you know, as an entrepreneur or solopreneur, I know you know this, that you're thinking about your work 24/7 and it's causing this drain and this burnout. And so since we've been able to make this shift, we've generated more revenue in a predictable way. We've been able to serve our clients in an amazing way, and I get to have a life. What about that?
Yes, hooray to that. Yeah, I mean, you know, Tiff, you know that I am passionate about this topic. And we always say, what good is scaling your business and scaling your impact if you look back and you've left complete chaos behind you? You know, if you don't have the best relationship of your life, if you don't have the best work-life balance, if you're not focusing on self-care, if you're not looking at how what you're doing in your business impacts your life and how what you're doing in your life impacts your business in a holistic way, then what's the point? You know, I mean, money is great. And we will be the first to tell you that prosperity is one of the #1 core values that we live by in ELMWORLD. But we also believe that prosperity can only get you so far if you're not paying attention to everything else. And so we're super, super passionate about this, and like Tiff said, we live transparently. And a couple of weeks ago, I said to Tiff, I can't work weekends anymore. Not that she was asking me to work weekends, but I was working weekends because I felt the pressure of what we were doing and because we love what we do, right? And I know that entrepreneurs do this. We are in the business because we love doing what we do, especially those of us who are in service entrepreneurial organizations where we're serving people and we truly believe that we're serving the greater good. It's so easy to get wrapped up in working 7 days a week. And the reality is that that's not a life that's sustainable. It's not sustainable for us. It's not sustainable for our families, for those of us who have families. And so we get to look at all of that. And, we work really hard to practice what we preach and to be totally transparent about our journey.
100%. So we're just going to dig right into it. I mean, Tig is an amazing coach and he's an amazing colleague, but he's also an amazing friend. And that's the thing, is that like you want to be in friendship and in partnership with people that are really aligned with who you are, where you're going, what you want to do in the world, and you're only watching this, go ahead and put leader down below in the comments right now if you know that you have something to contribute, to the world, that someone's life will be better because you spoke up, because you stood up, because you started your business. Go ahead and put leader down below if that's you. And we know that, like Tig was saying, you're willing to dedicate and sacrifice everything in order to give back to the people that you care about, your clients. And sometimes in that sacrifice, other things are being, what is the word? Left behind, maybe, right? And so what we're learning is that more hours do not equate to more value, right? More hours being put in do not equate to more sales, do not equate to more impact in the world. And we're constantly on this hamster wheel of entrepreneurship, trying to figure it out, trying to do it all, trying to do it alone. And that's the kind of client that we have been serving so far. And what we're doing is we're saying, you know what? That client is going to generate some clients. They're going to generate a business that they can sustain as one person. But as your vision continues to grow, as you start to gain more confidence about what it is that you offer, you want to be able to grow a team so that you can eventually grow more people like you. And I think that's like the hidden benefit of scaling your business, is that you get to pass down your skills, your talents, your systems, all the things that you learned, you get to pass it down. And so, Tig, what do you think about that?
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. And, I was on a conversation this morning where people were talking about being leaders. And the thing that came up is that the way to truly step into leadership is to become such a powerful leader of your own life that you naturally become a leader of those around you, because other people see the example of your life and want to follow you, right? Because they want what you have. They want that secret sauce. And with that being said, and with the conversation about being in partnership with people who truly are on the same journey as you, I'm super excited about tonight's call, Tiff, because we have some really exciting news about some shifts that we're making with ELMWORLD in the spirit of that partnership. Because, we've said it several times, but we decided to take on some new business coaches at the end of December. We invested a hefty sum, which has been well worth it for us, to bring on these business coaches. And the thing is, the systems that we teach can be learned pretty much anywhere. They can be learned for free online. There's a lot of different programs that teach the systems that we teach, right? But the thing that makes ELMWORLD different, and I don't know any other program that does this, and I could be wrong because I don't know every program that's out there, but the thing that makes ELMWORLD different is that, one, we take a holistic approach to business. So we do say, let's take a look at what's happening in life and how what you're doing in life translates to what's happening for you in business. And the second thing is this new thing that we're doing, which is shifting the paradigm of how we deliver this program so that we get to be in partnership with people. And Tiff, I'm going to let you talk about this and let you talk about the refresh overall that we're doing with ELMWORLD, because it's something that I'm super excited about.
Yeah, and I'm going to make you wait. So if you want to hear about the refresh, you're going to wait a little bit by the 28-minute mark, because before we get into that, I want to provide some immense value. Is that okay? I want to just bring the value today. So if you want to hear the biggest lessons that we learned in the last 10 months, blood, sweat, and tears, and revenue later, money invested, time invested, clients winning. If you want to hear that, go ahead and put value down below, because I want to give you something that you can take away from this call besides our relaunch, and that's what Tyke and I are really committed to, is that we want to make sure that every time that you're with us, that there's something for you to implement, something for you to take away, something for you to go and actually go and do something actionable. We're not just like about the esoteric woo-woo stuff, although we love that stuff. Like, we love that stuff, but we're not just about it. We want to see you win in your life. So if you want to get that value, I see the values coming. Nice. Okay. So there are some really huge lessons that we have learned working with our clients and working with ourselves. Like Tyge is saying, in order for you to create immense value as a leader, you must step up as a leader. One of the biggest lessons that Tyge and I will own up to is our lack of commitment. Number one reason for burnout, lack of commitment. And I know you don't want to hear that, y'all, but if you're tired and burnt out and you're on the hamster wheel, one of the things that you can look at is you can say, am I being authentic about the kind of commitment I'm making to this project, to this community, to this client?
Yes. You just dropped some major wisdom there, right? Because I feel like the last 3 weeks have been leading up to this conversation. Like last week we talked about time blocking. What type of time are you putting on your calendar? Are you blocking out for you to really focus on your business, right? And this is the thing that changed everything for us. And the reason why we decided to invest in coaching at the end of December, because we sat down, Tiff and I, in an executive meeting, and we said, are we going to do this or not? Because the hobbyist thing, it was me who said it. I said, the hobbyist thing is not working for me. We're either going all in or we've got to figure something else out, because this isn't working for me. And Tiff was like, me too. I've been feeling the exact same thing. So we got to really look at what we were doing, right? And the reality is that we have been treating ELMWORLD like a hobby for the past year. And we've had some pretty good results, Our results have not been too shabby for treating it like a hobby.
Compared to who?
Well, when you're talking about over $17,000 launch, I think our top month was like $30,000, maybe 20, 25, 28.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but those numbers aren't too shabby for running a hobby, right? But we also knew that the impact that we're committed to having in the world is so much bigger than just the primary vision. And we knew that the only way to get there was to stop treating this like a hobby and to treat it like a professional business. And this is one thing that we say to our clients all the time. Are you shooting for a $250,000 or $250,000 a year business, but you're only putting in a $10,000 a year time commitment? Because if that doesn't match up, right? So if I'm wanting to make $250,000 a year, if I'm wanting to make $500,000 a year, then I get to treat my business like a $500,000 a year business. And if I'm not ready to step into that commitment, it's time for me to stop pretending.
Oh, ouch. You know what, though? It took us about 8 months to come to that, right? So for
Yes.
8 months, we were like, let's do this thing. And then we were burning ourselves out. I mean, Ty, we thought we were committed. Interestingly enough, when we weren't committed was when we put in more time and more effort, and we were spinning around going, how do we? And then when we eventually committed 100%, we actually, in terms of time, spent less time, but because the commitment was there, the productivity level just skyrocketed. Because eventually, you guys, you all, is that when you make a commitment, you start to see the actionable items that are really going to move your business forward without all the fluff. But more than that, you're going to be able to move on them. You'll have the confidence to move on those commitments. And so, yeah, you know, it's we can go on about this, but I want to do more. So I want to show you my draft, because we were getting confused today. You call it time blocking. I named it productivity blocks, right? And so this is my schedule from 8 to 4. It's like my version of a 9 to 5, okay, from 8 to 4. And this, if we follow this schedule, we'll be at a $2 million run rate by the end of this year.
Yes. And can I say something about that real quick?
Yeah.
So when we sat down last week and we worked this out, right? We were talking about how to make these times work first, primarily for us, because we get to run the business, and then also for our clients, right? And so we had this negotiation, because for those who don't know, Tiff is in Pacific Standard Time. I'm in Eastern Standard Time, getting ready to move to Europe full time in about 2 months. And so we were like, okay, well, how is this going to work? And so what we were able to negotiate is that Tiff will start her day at 8 a.m., but that also came with a promise. And she said, I'll start my day at 8 a.m. And I said, if you start your day at 8 a.m., you have to promise me that your day ends, your work day ends at 4.
Yeah. Yeah. And what that does is it does a number of things. And so first of all, I was like biting my lip, because I was like, really? But what that does is that it creates a routine, number one. Number two, it creates an urgency to fulfill on the commitments that you made every day. If you give yourselves 24 hours to do something, you're going to do it on the 26th hour. Not on the 24th hour, not on the 23rd hour. We all know how this works. And so something I'm learning more and more is that, yeah, you can have a greater vision, but if you don't have chunks of that and immediate sort of sprints to work on, then you're just going to be flailing for a year until that year comes around, New Year's resolution comes around. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot I made that resolution about spending more time with my family, about making sure my business grows while I'm able to travel, about this, about that. So this is huge. So we can go on and on about this, but y'all, check your commitment. Check your commitment. Leave your ego at the door. Go ahead and comment right here, ego at the door. If you want to grow and scale your business, ego at the door. So the second biggest lesson that we learned while working with our clients is not that someone had to find a niche, because that is common practice now. If you don't know what that means, maybe this isn't the call for you, but finding your niche is the only thing that's going to take you to where you want to go. However, that wasn't the problem. The problem with us and most of the clients that we work with that we're helping them through is, how do we enforce that boundary? How do we stand for that boundary? Because we can say that we're niching down, but there is this scarcity sort of mindset around whether or not we should not let people in and all this. It's not for the matter of being exclusive. It's for the purpose of scaling and growing your impact. So there's always going to be like a person that's at different parts of their journey. So you're not excluding the person. You're just saying where they are in their journey right now doesn't actually fit. And so oftentimes there are a couple of reasons why entrepreneurs fail to enforce the niche that they choose. Do you want to hear them? Put niche in the comments if you want to hear. I'm gonna make you work for it, man. I just want to see.
Yeah, and I want to use an example here, right? Let's say that you decide to run this beautiful organic fruit stand, right? And you are committed to being the best organic fruit stand in your city, in your neighborhood, and you really put yourself into it. And a customer comes to you and says, "Do you sell hammers?" And you say, "No, I'm a fruit stand." And the next customer, and the customer comes back the next day and says, "But I really love your style. I really love the way that you do this. I really love what you're about, but I just really need a hammer." And you're like, "I'm sorry, we don't sell hammers. We sell fruit here." And the next day the customer comes back and says, "I really like your values and what you stand for, and I just really need a hammer." And you're like, "Oh, okay, I'll start selling hammers too." Right? When you look at it that way, you can see how ridiculous it is. But it is so common for us to do this when we are starting these online businesses.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. And here's the reason why. There's many reasons, but here's the top reasons why people don't actually enforce their niche, including ourselves. Number one, fear of exclusion, fear of being seen as excluding people. And so that's one, is the social aspect of it. The second one is the money aspect. When you are running and burning through cash by supporting your business, when you're burning cash, you don't want to be like, "No, I'm not going to let that person in when they want to, you know what I mean?" So it's like, it's logical, but at the same time, it'll hurt you in the long run, because for the simple fact that you won't be able to generate as many leads and clients as you can if you did actually enforce your niche, right? So sort of opening up that abundance mindset doesn't mean taking everyone. Actually, in our industry, abundance mindset means sticking to your niche and being able to create the best, most possible product or service you can ever. And this is about being the best, right? So at first, I mean, I'm a natural promoter. Tig hates it. Just kidding. He loves it. I'm a natural promoter. I started in network marketing, where it's a promotional business, and I had to run zero operations because it's a network marketing business. They run all operations. All I have to do is promote. When I started to grow a company on the side and decided that I actually want to move past the level that I'm at right now, or when I started this, then I said, there's something needs to change about me being a promoter. And really what that is being able to move from focusing just on scarcity, the front end, low hanging fruit, to how do I create sustainable business with the best product ever that's going to create the best results. And that's only through focus, right? And so that's one A, one B reason why people don't niche. Actually, that's all the reasons. That's the main one. Okay, that's definitely the main one. Oh, and then the second one is that sometimes they don't see a return quick enough. So sometimes when we switch our niche, even us, we are shifting our client avatar, and we can get impatient because bills, because the software that we're running, because all this stuff. It's easy to be like, let's get the low hanging fruit. No, because we also get to practice in volume. Let me know if this is making sense for y'all. Practice in volume how to speak to our niche. So when we shift, our whole system and process language shifts. The way we're thinking shifts. The way we present shifts. So the way we're speaking now, if you go back to our videos even 4 weeks ago, you'll see that we're speaking a completely different language than we are today. And that requires an internal language shift with our internal team, with Beatrice, right? With the people on our team. So be patient and work volume. That means, yes, you're going to have to put in a lot of work up front until you can figure out your systems and processes.
Right. And these systems take work, right? And that's my role in ELMWORLD, is I am taking care of operations now, and really looking at the systems and the processes we use, because systems are what allow us to replicate success, right? And we all want to replicate success. But what happens when we switch niche is that it may look like low-hanging fruit to begin with, but we have to start all over again in building systems, building that language, building that rapport. So it's really like scrapping everything and starting back from ground zero. Think again of that fruit stand, right? If I say I'm going to open a fruit stand and I only get 3 customers the first day and I only get 2 customers the next day, and I say, well, this city obviously doesn't need a fruit stand. So then I get rid of all of my inventory and I say, I'm going to open a hardware store, and I open a hardware store, and the business trickles in the first week and I say, well, I'm not getting good enough business, so I'm going to open a fitness center, right? Every time that I do that, I have to start over. Every time that I do that, I have to learn my client avatar all over again. I have to learn how to speak a new language in order to speak to my client, rather than working on becoming the best fruit stand owner that I can be, and taking what I learned the first week, looking at what is working, looking at what's not working, and build upon that week after week after week until I become actually a subject matter expert in what it is that I'm doing, and I begin to be known for that.
Yes, 100%. I love this fruit stand story, because imagine your fruit stand just popping and being like the best fruit stand in the city, and people going, hey, how do I start a fruit stand on the other side of town to capitalize on this, right? And so now you have a system that works for you now that you can duplicate to the second fruit stand owner and maybe teach that person how to do that and start to franchise your fruit stand based on the things that you learned, the expertise that you have. So the number one problem with promoters, with promoting and being only in the mindset of promoting, is that it's hard to duplicate if you don't go deeper than that. If you have to go layers deeper than just the marketing aspect in order to duplicate yourself, and you have to have a really great product. And so and in order to have a great product, you have to know the ins and outs, just like Tag was saying. So do you want to franchise your fruit stand? Do you want to duplicate yourself? And the answer for us is like, we don't really want to duplicate ourselves. We actually want to create partnerships with people that are going to have them contribute so much to our space, that through their impact, that we have a world full of people that are just evolving. That's why we call our program Curriculum Evolve, because people are evolving constantly around us. And so I'm going to hit on 2 really quick points, and then we're going to talk about this curriculum shift that we're making right now. But I hope you all are getting value from this. Go ahead and put value if you are. I see a lot of you watching right now. So if anything's standing out for you, any biggest takeaways so far, just go ahead and put them in the chat. So a couple of really quick things is that when you do learn how to enforce your niche, you get to find a way to market. That might change over time for you, depending on how refined you get in your marketing message. But here's the thing, is that there are people who are so refined. I work with a mentor of mine in real estate. He's been doing it for 40 years. And he's so refined in his niche that he's doing $1 million deals a week. And just thinking about that, he says the same thing to every time he picks up the phone. An agent calls him about one of his properties. He asks the same questions. He knows exactly what to look for. He takes every call. There's not ever a call he doesn't take. And so there's this thing about excluding people too fast up front. And that's really a lack of sort of foresight about sustainability and building relationships. Because the niche that you said no to can actually turn into your ideal client over time if you build the relationship. Okay, so I think that's something that a lot of people are making a mistake on in terms of in this marketing space. They're not treating people like people. That's a problem, right? So we want to fix that problem. Treat people like people, keep them in your circle, offer value where there's value. If there's not, build a relationship, because they'll bring you a referral or something other than that. So he takes every phone call. He qualifies them the same way, and he's willing to listen. Okay. And this man moves $1 million deal a week on the same niche. He doesn't really go outside his niche that much. So it's huge. So you get to choose a marketing process that works for you, but you get to bring the volume. Okay, bring the volume. The next thing is that one of the things that we've seen and learned is, and this is the last one, one of the things that we've seen and learned is that in order to create a sustainable long-term business that produces a lot in revenue, you get to have an onboarding process that is unforgettable to your client. What does that mean? It means from the minute that they are being enrolled through your pipeline to the minute they say yes, and then there's a process of actually onboarding them to use the product or the service with you, it has to feel unforgettable. It has to do something for them. And it's shown that if the person is onboarded correctly, and they will become a customer and have a great experience. And even more than that, they could potentially justify the cost of their investment within the first 30 days with you if you do it right. And if you are able to justify the cost of their investment, if they are in the first 30 days, the potential is limitless.
Yeah, if somebody can justify their investment in the first 30 days, I guarantee you that person is going to become a customer for life, because they know that the value that you bring to the table is always going to more than pay for itself.
Yep. So, moment we all been waiting for here, haven't we? So there are a couple things. We have created and are launching our 3.0 version of Evolve, and we are in the beginning stages of launching our Elevate program, which is the next level program. And we're going to tell you a little bit about this, okay? So also, we have some new branding material that we'd like to show you. And I'm just gonna, is it okay, Tag, if I just show them the files that Heather sent us?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we wanted our branding to really reflect the shifts that we're making, the changes that we're making. And we love our inner circle clients. We think you guys are phenomenal, and we're so grateful to see you grow into the people that you are in your life, and how you stand for your community and your clients is truly amazing. So we've decided to optimize, and we said, okay, now how do we serve the leader that is willing to grow a team of people in order to make a deeper impact in their community? And what do we get to do in order to have that happen? So we have invested heavily, of course, and we've said, okay, we're going to change up the structure, and we're going to be in the trenches with you. We're going to be in the, what does that mean? It means that on your day-to-day business endeavors, whether that be a sales call, whether that be an intro call, whether that be messaging, whether that be operations and systems, we're going to be in the trenches with you. And that's going to happen a couple of ways. One is that we're going to have a call every day, but we're going to be serving two parts of our niche. One is the coach that has a viable business right now as a solopreneur and wants to grow into a team, or already has a team, is looking to grow and scale. The second is a network marketer with an existing organization that wants to also create an amazing onboarding process for their clients and be able to train and teach them how to become successful in a scalable and predictable way. Okay, to not overpromise and underdeliver, but rather the other way around. And so what we'll be doing is that we're going to be having calls in the morning at the top of the day, for me at least, for the Pacific timers, at the top of the day, so that we can set you up right. Okay, set you up right. And Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be network marketing. Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be for coaches. We have a tight curriculum that gives you step by step how to build out your platforms and all that stuff, how to niche, how to refine your niche if you already have one, and how to relaunch your offer so that you're getting the kind of clients that you really want and can really support your business moving forward. And then the calls Monday through Thursday are there to support you day to day. And the reason is we realize that the more in touch you are with us and the more in touch we are with you, creating that partnership of business, that synergy, that excitement, that intimacy of like, we're not in this alone, we actually have each other. to start the day off, just like you're our team, and you are. All right, so it's basically going to be a team meeting where we work out the stuff, and then what we'll do is we'll I don't want to go too deep into this, but basically it's so that you can not feel alone in your business, and as you start to grow your team, we're going to be able to support you with your team as well.
Yeah, totally. So this is what's going to allow us to be in partnership with you. And like Tiff said, be in the trenches with you, right? So bring your enrollment calls, bring your enrollment messages to these calls, and we're going to be in the trenches with you. We're going to be in these conversations with you so that as you lean into the discomfort of doing that, because trust me, we know from doing this ourselves, and we know from teaching clients for the past year, one of the most uncomfortable things to step into is having these conversations with people, starting conversations with people that you're not sure they're going to be receptive to your message, right? But that's the great thing about this partnership, is that you don't have to do it alone. We'll be there with you, having these conversations with you. And just because you're a solopreneur doesn't mean you have to do it by yourself or do it in isolation. You get to have a team to support you and to be on that journey with you. And that's one thing that we are super excited about. We're going to have the enrollment, sales, that sort of thing. And then we're going to have the operations call that looks at technology. How do we set up the technology to support you? How do we make sure that you have the right pipelines in place? Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the software and how it all works together and the messaging and all that stuff. So that's the exciting side behind operations. And like Tiff alluded to, we have the Evolve curriculum, which is our core curriculum. And this is to take the solopreneur into that professional business person, to really hone in on those skills, understand the business inside and out, to really scale their impact and scale their business. And then what Elevate does, Elevate is like the team edition of that. So when you join Elevate, and you want to build your team, you bring your team with you. We train your team. We help you define the roles on your team and who's doing what. And we're in the trenches with you there when it comes to leadership and management. And how do you really build a team that works for you in building the business of your dreams?
Yes, yes, yes. So with that said, we're running really long today, but I hope it's all been really exciting for you. And I want to show them our new logo. How about that?
Awesome. Let's do it.
You ready? All right. If everyone wants to see this, go ahead and put refresh in the comments. Put refresh in the comments. So this is what we mean about partnership, is that I want to talk a little bit about this is that we have people who help us with our video. We have people that help us with our branding, and they're there. And yes, we pay them, but we work with people who we align with in value to create something. And I think that's very special in terms of being sure that our brand partners or our company partners have an alignment in terms of what we value, our core values as a company. And that synergy is able to create some amazing things. So shout out to Heather Lenakino for making this. You ready? Woo! Amazing. Yes. This brand refresh. This is clean. It's crisp. It's professional. Man, look at this logo.
Yeah, this is just the start, right? I mean, Heather really put her heart into this and into the program, to the program specific logos, the color scheme we're going to be using. We're super excited about this. And I know that you guys know who Heather is. Most of you, if you're new, maybe you don't, but we've talked about the fact that Heather is Tiff's partner, and Heather went through our program and paid full price to go through our program. Yep. And we hired Heather to do our branding, and we pay Heather to do our branding because like we said, we believe one of our core values is prosperity, abundance, and we get to pay the people who do work for us, even if those people are family. And we really live in the spirit of that.
Yes, 100%. And by the way, Heather, in taking our program, you'll see her in the onboarding, in the enrollment pipeline. If you ever decide to book a call with us, by the way, if you're interested in taking a look at our program, go ahead and put down evolve in the comments if you want one of us to reach out to you and just see if your business, where you are in your business, is a good fit for what we have going on right now, so that we can partner up and start to move you forward. Okay, just put evolve, and we're not going to sell you on the first call. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. So the way that we do it is basically we're going to qualify you over Messenger. We're just going to hear a little bit about your business. Then we might jump on like a 5-10 minute call and qualify you even more. And the qualification is not about shutting you out. It's really about saying, where are you? Does this make sense for you right now? Does it make sense financially? Does it make sense in terms of your goals? And then let's have you move forward. So in between the 5-10 minute call, there's also going to be a pre-call assignment for the enrollment call. And that, there you'll see Heather in her first 3 weeks at ELMWORLD raised the price of her offer and was able to generate $40,000.
That's
Not
pretty
bad.
significant. Yeah, that's pretty significant, right? And yeah, so this is definitely not a hard sell, you guys. If you're interested in learning more about this, go ahead and put evolve in the comments. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you to find out where you are in your business. And like Tiff said, not to shut you out, but if you don't meet the criteria threshold to be a part of the business right now, we're going to give you very clear steps to get there.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're currently in the inner circle, we're actually also thinking of you too and thinking about how this refresh is going to support you moving forward past your program expiration date. We are thinking about that. We are thinking of you. We don't want to kick you out if you don't want to be kicked out. So if you want to have a conversation about what that looks like, you go ahead and put evolve in the comments as well. And we'll be sure to be in touch with you about your next steps. How about that?
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, this was fun, y'all. I gotta go. We went way past the time. But Tig, I am so grateful to be in partnership with you and to be in relationship as friends with you. You bring such an amazing energy and commitment, and I'm really happy about what we're doing right now. And I can't wait to keep adding more people to our team that are just like you, maybe.
Thank you.
Hard to find, probably.
Maybe, probably, but I can't wait to continue to build our team as well. You know, being in partnership with you is one of the most fulfilling things that I've ever done in life. Like you said, not just because of our business partnership, because of our friendship and the way that we stand for each other in life. And I love that about our friendship and about our partnership. So thank you for all that you contribute to my life and for what you contribute to this space in ELMWORLD. And let's build a team of leaders.
Yes. And thank you, all you leaders, clients, and members. We are nothing without you. We love you so much, and we'll see you soon.
See you later, guys.
Bye.